Hey there, Yarnpreneurs. Jess here. I just realized this might look really weird on my glasses. Okay, there we go. All right, so it is Tip Tuesday. Oh, that's funky. All right, I'm going to turn this off. There we go. I'm sorry. It's a little dark today. It's a little gray outside here in New Jersey. But I'm really excited to talk about today's tip because this is one of my favorite ways to help yarnpreneurs find a creative process that works for them. So my tip today is all about the shadow technique. And if you don't know what this is, that's okay because I kind of made up the name for it. But basically, the shadow technique is a technique that allows you to understand your workflow better, understand your current creative process better, and it allows you to gather some data and access some information about how you like to work and how you don't like to work. What works for you productivity-wise and what doesn't. What gets your creative juices flowing and what kind of stifles your creativity. So I like to use the shadow technique with newbies who are trying to figure out exactly what a creative process is in terms of what they need to use it for, what it looks like for their business, what it looks like for their personal productivity. And it's kind of a good starting point for anyone who doesn't really have a creative process in place, or maybe has a bit of a creative process in place but feels that it needs to be tweaked or updated, or they don't understand the types of techniques or processes that work for them. So basically how you use the shadow technique, it's super simple. Grab a notebook, a piece of paper. You'll probably need an actual entire notebook. Just go to Walmart and grab like one of those $1 notebooks, grab a pen, and you're going to carry that notebook around with you. Literally, you're going to let it shadow you and your business every time you're working. And basically what you're going to do in the notebook is you're going to do a few things. You're always going to keep it open and kind of next to you wherever you're working. And you'll keep track of both the tasks that you're working on. So every time you start a task or finish a task or are working on a task, you're going to write that down. You're also going to write a timestamp down. So for example, right now it's 1:04 p.m. and I am live in my Facebook group. So I would write 1:04 p.m. Tip Tuesday live video. And then when I'm done, I'll write, whatever time we finished Tip Tuesday live video. I can also write a few other things. For example, I have a specific playlist that's playing on my computer right now. And I like this playlist because I know it gets me in the groove, and it's not too upbeat, so I feel like I want to get up and dance, but it's not too mellow, so I feel like I want to, fall asleep on the couch behind me. So you can write down other environmental factors. So things like the playlist, things like I have my heater on, I have a candle burning. I like burning candles while I'm working. I think it like zens me out. So things like that kind of are a significant impact on your environment. For example, if you have to get up and walk the dog in the middle of the day, and it kind of interrupts your workflow, write that down. Now, not everything that you write down you're going to have a solution for, and that's okay. The shadow technique is meant to shed light on your current workflows and processes. So this particular technique is not really meant to solve any problems yet, but it's meant to give you the data and the insight into how you work, so that you can find solutions for problems that you have, so that you can make your workflows more efficient, so that at the end of the day, you're making your creative process better. So I call it the shadow technique because you are literally following or shadowing yourself around your business. And it's that simple. You grab a notebook, grab a pen, write down everything you do. Make sure you include timestamps. Those are really helpful for looking at later to determine if you were trying to multitask. Write down literally everything you do. If you leave things out, you will not have accurate data. And that will make it harder to assess and fix any workflow issues that you are having. For example, if you lie and say you only check your email 2 times a day, when in fact you actually check it about 20 times a day, that's going to make a big difference. And it is about kind of keeping yourself honest and getting in the habit of being honest with yourself, being open with yourself, and making sure that you're giving yourself the best chance at success, because you are providing yourself with the data that you need to actually make changes, make positive, actionable changes. So if anybody has any questions about the shadow technique and how it works, let me know. I am open to, discussing more. But it's really very simple, and it's all about, step 1, figuring out where the holes are. I like to call them holes. So things like if we multitask a lot, or if we try to multitask a lot, because technically our brain actually can't multitask. But if we're trying to force ourselves to multitask a lot, that can really pull us off track. The things that are going to completely derail our working hours. And this shadow technique is really, really important, especially for those of us who are working on our businesses part-time. If you're not working on your business full-time, if you only have a set amount of hours every week or every day to work on your business, you need to make sure that you're using that time to its fullest. And if you don't have a current workflow or creative process set up, you're probably not using that time to its fullest. There are very few of us that just naturally sit down and work in a way that allows us to focus and accomplish tasks. Most of us have to work at it. Most of us have to use some techniques. Most of us have to create some habits. And most of us have to do certain things so that when we do sit down and work, we know we're not going to be distracted. We're not going to start multitasking. We're not going to do certain things that are going to derail the time that we have to spend on our business. So this shadow technique can be the first step in, really figuring out what it is that as part-timers are pulling us off track and not allowing us to accomplish everything we want to accomplish or reach our fullest potential of success. So I hope this has helped you guys. If you get a chance to try the shadow technique, let me know. I recommend that you do it for about a week. You can go longer than that. And it'll depend on some personal factors in your business and things like that. But basically what you want to do is you want to try and get as accurate a picture as possible. If you only do it on Mondays, you're not going to get a picture of what Wednesday looks like. And, Wednesday might have different factors and things like that. So you want to try and get about a week is good. A week to 2 weeks, I would say, would be the max to kind of get a good picture over time for a few different environments, a few different, interruptions and things coming in. So a good set of data that allows you to understand how you're currently working, so you can take that and kind of figure out how to fix any issues that you might be having. All right, so that is my Tip Tuesday. I hope you guys enjoyed it. For our Academy members, there is a detailed process for creating the shadow technique, for using the shadow technique in the first module. So if you haven't gotten to that lesson yet, you will be. I think it's lesson 3 or 4. And there's also quite a few other lessons that show you how to incorporate the shadow technique and fix any holes that you find when you perform the technique on yourself. All right, guys. So happy Tip Tuesday. I will talk to you all soon. I'll see you later. Have a good week, guys.